Good morning, everyone. And yes, I mean that by saying good morning because for most of you guys, the holiday is not over yet. Now, have you guys noticed the lotus lanterns on the street? It's because today is 부처님 오신 날. Now, if you translate that into English, it means the day when Buddha comes. So if you're from a country where Buddhism is not one of the religions that are celebrated, it's a great chance to experience different cultures. And even if you're already Buddhist from another country, it'll be a great chance to see the cultural differences. Just like Christmas, there are many different ways of celebrating holidays. And I know we all have enjoyed our long weekends so much, and I know it doesn't matter how long the weekends are or how long the holidays are, it's never enough. So we have a song for you guys to kind of continue the long holiday weekend over and over again. And the song is by Nelly featuring Tim McGraw, Over and Over. Yes, that was Nelly featuring Tim McGraw with Over and Over. And right now, you guys are tuned into What's Poppin' with Brian Ju on TBS efm 101.3 in Seoul and its surrounding areas, GFN 98.7 in Gwangju and 93.7 in Yeosu. Now, a few things I want to remind you guys. If you have an email and you're so eager to send it and say great things about our show and, of course, me, please send an email to efmpoppin@gmail.com. Also, if you want to check out our playlist, please check out our website at tbsefm.soul.kr/efm/what's poppin', and you can check out all the previous songs that we played. And if you haven't yet, please follow us on Twitter and send us tweets throughout the week, and you have to do that by following at TBS What's Poppin'. And right now, moving on to today's pick. Alrighty, it's time for today's pick. And the occasion for today is everyone's favorite, of course, parking. Now, parking is already tricky wherever you are. And if you went to a touristy place or a popular spot this holiday, it could have been very difficult to find parking and trying to be patient at the same time. And if you're not a good driver yet or good at parking, these kinds of situations can definitely stress you out, even scare you a little bit. Now, we can't really do, parallel parking for you guys, but what we can do is give you tips on parking lot etiquette. Number 1, do not block other parking space seekers while you wait for a space to open up near the store entrance. Now, the drivers in the cars behind you may be finished with their errands and shopping and all that good stuff, and they're on their way home or to work. Now, if the person is already pulling out, that's one thing. But if you're sitting there while they're walking to their car, while they're putting bags in the trunk, etc., make sure you leave enough space for other vehicles to pass by, because you'll be testing the patience of other cars behind you, especially if they can't go around you. Number 2, center your vehicle in its parking space. Now, overhanging the stripes or double parking, I've seen a lot of people do that. I hate when people double park, will tend to crowd the driver who parks in the adjacent space and frequently leads to door dings on the paint of your car or maybe the cars next to you. Number 3, it's required to have handicapped parking spaces, and they're located near disabled ramps, usually very close to the business's entrance. So, if you do not require the use of these spaces and do not have a permit, guys, please park somewhere else. It's not for you. All right, number 4, resist temptation to blow the horn to other drivers. First of all, it's rude, and you may feel like, you're discourteous by showing grace, but rather, anger, it's actually better not to show anger. You're showing more, class by being calm. You know what they say, you're the bigger man, and when you're calm, you don't blow up at people. Same thing. Don't blow your horn, because blowing your horn can actually just be, discourteous, rude, and actually very immature. Now, after even all this, keeping your etiquette, there's always people who care less, but be patient. Now, if you're really getting on your, parking and all that stuff is getting on your nerves, we have the perfect song for you guys to kind of, rub them off your shoulders. And the song is by TLC, No Scrubs. Yeah, that was TLC singing No Scrubs. Great song. Now, this song is from the third studio album called Fan Mail, which was released in 1999, the same year Hwani and I debuted as Fly to the Sky. Now, TLC waited 5 years to release this album, but the time gap didn't really hurt the group's popularity at all. It entered the chart at number 1 and dominated the pop and R&B charts for most of the year. Now, TLC is one of the most successful R&B groups of the 1990s, and I'm pretty sure we mentioned TLC in the past, and we often play their music here, but never really talk about them that that much here, so you guys are probably curious about them, so we're going to drop some knowledge. Now, TLC is an American girl group, and it's comprised of Tian T-Boz Watkins, rapper Lisa Left Eye Lopez, and Rosanda Chili Thomas. Now, this trio is largely considered one of the most important and successful female R&B groups of all time, selling over 22 million albums in the U.S. alone. Among their many numerous hits, the best-known songs here in Korea are Waterfalls, No Scrubs, and Creep. Now, the next group has many things common with TLC, and they got a record deal and debuted in the same year as TLC. And the trio we're talking about right now is called SWV. The abbreviation means Sisters with Voices. Now, just like TLC, they only took a year to release their first album after signing a contract with their record label. And SWV was formed by Cheryl Gamble, Tamara Johnson, and Leanne Lyons in 1991. And all three vocalists sang in church as children, which is why, and how they learned how to harmonize. And they put together a demo tape, and soon they were invited to sing demo in front of record executives. And right away, they were signed with an 8-album record deal. And the next song is from the second album, New Beginning. And we're going to be playing one of their signature songs, peaking at number 1 on the Billboard, of course, back in the day. I'm not sure if you guys know this song, but I love this song. Check it out, SWV, You're the One. That was SWV singing You're the One. Now, like many groups, the group was disbanded in 1998. Then Coco, the group's lead singer, of course, released her first solo album back in 1999. And in 2005, SWV reunited and announced plans to record a new album, but it didn't happen for another 6 years. And in 2011, they finally had their release for I Missed Us. Now, one of American's cable television networks ranked SWV number 88 on the 100 Greatest Women Music list. Now, girl groups like SWV and TLC influenced many artists, especially many female artists, including Brandy, Tamia, and Destiny's Child. And then these wonderful female artists have influenced other artists as well, just like our next artist named Stan Walker. Now, he especially mentioned Beyonce as his main inspiration. Just because he's a dude doesn't mean he got to get inspired by guys. Girls can inspire dudes as well. Now, he's the winner of the 7th season of an Australian audition show, and he sings mostly pop music with an R&B style. And he has released 4 studio albums so far, and we're going to listen to a song from his second album, From the Inside Out. Now, he describes his album a little poppy with an R&B and hip-hop edge, but also elements of electro, funk, and it can be found also in his songs if you listen to his music. Now, the song that we have for you guys right now by Stan Walker was released on his album back in 2010. And it's going to be the last song for the first half of our show before we get Joe Park up in the studio. And the song is called Unbroken. Welcome back to the second half of What's Poppin'. Shortly, Mr. Joe Park will be stepping in the studio to talk about sampling music. Of course, you guys know it's our Tuesday segment called Chop, Loop, and Reverse It. So if you're curious, you got to stay tuned. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second half of What's Poppin'. And right now we have our segment called Chop, Loop, and Reverse It with our go-to guy, Joe Park. How you doing, Joe?
Yeah, I'm doing very good today. Thank you very much.
Are you? You're very dressed uniquely today.
Thank you.
I'm only saying that because Joe usually wears all crooked to the side, his black t-shirt, black pants. I don't know, you just always wear black from my knowledge.
Yeah, it's just my go-to color, I have a lot of dark colors in my wardrobe.
You're boring.
I need to be brightened up. I like the red on you. And
thank you very much.
I gotta wear some more red.
This is actually my go-to last-minute outfit. Like in the mornings, I don't really care about what I look like in the morning because I'm just really groggy and tired. So this is what I go to. I just grab the first hoodie I see, the first shorts I see, the first hat I see. But apparently you just own a lot of black clothes.
Yeah, it's a lot of black for me. Well,
he's
I'm
wearing more
too much black, but
very Western-y image today. But we're not talking about Western music right now. We're actually talking about sampling music. And the first artist that Joe wants to talk about is the lovely lady by the name of
A. Marie, featuring Trey Songz. And the song is called Pretty Brown.
Oh, why is it called Pretty Brown? Is it like, I'm sad? Like, it's like, I feel down. I feel blue.
Well, actually, it's from the sample track. It's originally called Breaking My Heart, Pretty Brown Eyes. So I think they kind of took it from the sample track. So yeah, they just put Pretty Brown.
Okay. Now this song was released when?
It was released in 2009 off her 4th studio album, In Love and War.
Okay.
And the album debuted at number 46 on the U.S. Billboard 200, selling about 12,500 copies its first week. So it didn't do too great.
If that was Korea, that's actually good. 12,500 copies the first week.
Yeah, that's actually really good for Korea.
But this is U.S., yeah.
Yeah, the U.S. not so great. And so she basically says that, she wanted to write about the imperfect sides of love and relationships for this album. And this was the first album that she did not write with Rich Harrison, which is the person who signed her, the producer. And Rich Harrison, for all don't know, is famous for songs with Beyonce.
Okay.
Dangerously in Love and stuff like that. So he was the main producer, and A-Marie debuted in 2002 with Rich Harrison being the producer, and with the album All I Have.
Okay.
And A-Marie's biggest hit to date is a song called One Thing.
It's just one thing that
there we go.
Yep,
yeah,
that song.
Yeah, One Thing, yeah. Which was the lead single from her second album. And also, A-Marie's half Korean. Yeah.
Like that makes any difference as an artist. But she is half Korean, half African American.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we're just proud. That's all.
I met her in person, and she's very lovely and very beautiful.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were at an award show together, and she sat at the table next to mine. And it's funny because for me, being from Korea, I was like the guy, like, oh my gosh, she's a singer in the States.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like fanboying over her, looking at her from my table. And then my friend smacked me in the leg. He's like, dude, stop staring. I was like, why? He goes, you're here for an award too, so you're in the same boat as she is. You're a celebrity receiving an award, so don't forget that. Don't look like a desperate fan. I was like, is it that desperate looking? He's like, yeah. I was like, sorry. And I mean, I can't blame myself. I'm stuck in this country working all the time, so I don't get to see that many other celebrities from other countries. So, yes, A-Marie is a very beautiful, beautiful lady.
Beautiful and talented.
And talented, yes.
Yeah.
Now, the song that we're going to play for you guys right now is actually not an original track. Well, it is an original track, but she used a sampling source for the song.
Yes.
So we're going to play the sample for you guys right now. That was Mint Condition with Breaking My Heart, Pretty Brown Eyes.
Yep.
I remember the song.
Really?
You're probably thinking, man, you're old.
Really? You remember this song?
Of course.
Wow.
I do remember the song. It's a great classic R&B track, soul, and it makes you feel good, just laid back, chill. Now, you have to give the information on the song. When did it come out?
It was released in 1991 as a second single from their debut album, Meant to Be Mint. Kind of cool. And this song is their biggest hit to date, peaking at number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1992.
Okay.
And Mint Condition was formed in the mid-1980s, and they're from St. Paul, Minnesota.
Whoa, you don't hear about R&B girls from Minnesota?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually they're from
Minnesota.
From LA or Philadelphia.
New York.
Chicago. Yeah, exactly.
ATL.
Yeah. And so this group is really well known for the R&B ballads such as Breaking My Heart and What Kind of Man Would I Be?
Okay.
I really like that song too. And
you know some of their songs, okay.
Yeah, and the group was originally discovered by music producers Jam and Lewis.
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Yeah, in 1989.
Okay.
And Mint Condition was entered into the Soul Music Hall of Fame actually in 2012.
Okay.
And they have won and been nominated for many awards, but did not manage to win a Grammy Award. So
that's like the biggest thing in the music field. Like everybody wants to get a Grammy.
Yeah.
That's my goal one day. To get a Grammy and an Oscar. It doesn't have to be at the award show. Maybe I can just steal it from somebody. But I do want a Grammy and an Oscar.
Yes.
Alrighty, well, we're speaking about Mint Condition, not Mint Condition. And we have a song for you guys right now that's actually by A-Marie, because that's the artist we're originally talking about, who used Mint Condition's track for her song. And the song we're going to play for you guys right now is A-Marie featuring Trey Songz. What's the song called?
Pretty Brown.
A-Marie featuring Trey Songz with Pretty Brown. That's a good song.
Yeah.
I never heard this song, but it's new to me, of course. For all you listeners out there, if it's the first time, now you learned yourself a new song to put on your playlist. All right, moving on, we have the next artist, and the next artist is?
Le Dizzy.
Is that how you pronounce the name? I never knew how to pronounce the name.
Yeah, I mean, I pronounce it Le Dizzy.
Is it Le Dizzy? I've been saying Lettucey. Is it Lettucey? Lettucey? It's I don't know. We'll say
I've heard Ledisi, so
tomato. So we'll call it Ledisi because you brought the artist in today, and the song is called
Coffee.
Coffee, which I'm drinking right now and keep me awake.
Lovely.
Yes. Now, this song was released when?
The song was released in 2011 off her fifth studio album, Pieces of Me. And the album debuted at number 8 on the US Billboard 200 and is her first top 10 album on the chart, and it is also her highest-selling album to date.
Wow.
Yeah, and the album had 3 Grammy nominations, but unfortunately did not win because at the time, Chris Brown was doing it big with his album Fame, and he was winning. So, yeah, it was a really good album, but yeah, didn't get to make or get a Grammy Award. And, Ledisi is known for her jazz-influenced vocals. She's very artistic. She has a unique sound. And also, she debuted in 2000, actually, with the album Soul Singer. And
I never heard of this artist before in the past.
Yeah, she has a different sound. She wasn't as mainstream. You know, and she sounds a bit more jazzy than pop. And in 2007, she signed with a major record label with Verve Forecast and released her third album called Lost and Found, which sold about 217,000 copies. So,
what's her name mean?
Her name means to come here in Yoruba. You guys may.
What's Yoruba?
Yoruba, I believe it is a language.
Oh. I'm just asking. I need to get myself educated. Alrighty, so we're talking about Ledisi. Now, Ledisi, unfortunately, like you said, did not win a Grammy, but was nominated. I think that's a big achievement to even be nominated.
Big, yes.
Because I haven't been nominated, but I said I'm going to steal me a Grammy one day in the future.
Yeah.
But right now, we're going to go into the sample that Ledisi used for her song Coffee, and we'll listen to that sample right now. Yeah, that was a sample. And the sample is by Grover Washington Jr., Black Frost.
Yes.
Now, this song, you got to give some knowledge on it.
Yeah, this song was released in 1975 off his fourth album, Mr. Magic.
Okay.
And the album peaked at number 10 on the pop charts and hit number 1 on the soul and jazz albums chart.
Ooh.
And so, Grover Washington Jr. was an American jazz funk saxophonist.
Okay.
And he's considered to be one of the main founders of the smooth jazz genre. You know, the smooth jazz. You know, people like, there's a lot of smooth jazz artists, but people like, Danny Jung or like,
I ain't gonna compare.
people are like Kenny G.
I'm about to say, you're gonna compare Danny Jung. No offense, I love you, Danny. We boys and everything, but Danny Jung to Grover Washington Jr.?
No, I'm just saying that he inspired everyone else of who does smooth jazz today.
Okay, I was about to say, it's like saying Justin Bieber is just like Michael Jackson.
No, I am not saying that.
No, I'm saying it's like that kind of comparison, which never would actually work out.
Yes.
Okay.
And throughout the 70s and 80s, Washington had a row of hits such as Mr. Magic, Weed Seed, Black Frost, Wine Light. I don't know how many songs you guys are all familiar with, but he also has some famous recordings featuring other artists like Bill Withers and Dave Brubeck's like Take 5. You know, he's featured in Just the Two of Us.
Just the two of us.
That's right.
Yes.
And Washington, he liked to play like the black nickel-plated saxophones. Everyone thinks of a saxophone as like, the bronze, golden color. But he wanted to take like the silver, black nickel look. And so...
What, did he get like a custom-made saxophone then?
Yeah. He got in contact with the makers, Julius Kilworth.
Okay.
And, started making his kind of like own style of saxophones. And, they're still
Those
popular.
are the kind of things a lot of people get jealous about. When some artist or celebrity has something nobody else has, I'm always like, I want that, You
want to hop on the trend.
Yes, not the trend, but sometimes if a celebrity has their own thing, it was custom made for that person, it's not a trend, they're the only ones who have it. And that, I'm kind of one of those people who just wants the one of a kind, the only one that owns something or be the founder of something. And just like Grover, I keep saying his name wrong. What's his name again?
Grover Washington Jr.
Yes, Grover Washington Jr. I wish I could have something of that sort, like maybe a platinum mic that nobody else has designed just for me.
Yeah.
So Julius Kilworth, I'm letting you know, make me something special. Anyways, keep going about Mr. Grover Washington.
And, Washington, he started freelancing around New York and eventually landed in Philadelphia in 1967. And like a lot of jazz instrumentalists and saxophonists, they were like backup players for other artists at the time. And then, he had his big break when another alto saxophonist named Hank Crawford was unable to record. And so Washington, he took his place and he just stepped up. And all of a sudden, this led to his solo album, Inner City Blues. Yeah. So the guy's like, whoa, this guy's crazy.
He talented. He good.
Yeah, let's give him a chance, So sometimes some people just need a spotlight to shine, You got to give them that opportunity.
You got to put them in the limelight, let them do their thing, and then you realize, wow, this guy has mad talent. So we need to produce this dude.
Yeah.
That's what happened with him.
And from that, he released 25 albums during his whole career. More than 70% of his albums hit number 1.
Whoa.
And more than 90% of his albums hit top 10 on the jazz charts. So
that's a huge achievement. 70% of his albums went number 1?
Yeah, number 1.
Wow.
All
and 90% hit top 10.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So basically, everything he comes out with just turns to gold.
Yeah.
Nothing
like
ever fails.
Number one, maybe number 2, number 8.
But I'm seeing here recently, well, not recently, but he did pass away back in 1999.
Yes.
After his 56th birthday, and he collapsed.
Yeah, he had a sudden heart attack after performing 4 songs on the Saturday Early Show on CBC.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's a bad way to die.
Yeah,
I feel so sad.
You just never know, yeah.
Alrighty, well, we're talking about Grover Washington Jr. and also the original artist we're talking about, Ledisi. Ledisi.
Yes.
So we have that song set up for you guys right now. This is Coffee by Ledisi. Alright, that was Coffee. By correction, the name that we said earlier, we kept on saying Ledisi, but the artist name is actually pronounced Ledisi.
I like Ledisi.
Oh, so you pronounce names the way you want to.
Why not?
You might as well call me Brienne.
Brienne's different. Brienne is spelled differently.
How do you spell Brienne?
Brianne. Pow.
Yeah. I don't know what he's on right now, but yes, the name of the artist is Ledisi that we talked about just shortly in the song that we played for you guys right now. But guess what, y'all? Guess what, Joe?
No,
it's time to wrap things up.
No.
But we're sorry that we have to go, but don't be too sad because I'll be back tomorrow at 9:05 sharp. But we got the last song for the hour, and the artist's name is Warren Dean Flendez. The song we're going to play for you guys is called You Were My Life. But we want to thank all you guys for tuning in today on this lovely Tuesday morning. And once again, this is Brian Jew and
Joe Park
signing off. Peace.